Thanks for joining us here. My name's Chris. I'm at my family business. This is a brick and mortar store that's actively buying and selling. There's probably going to be real customers in the background as we're doing this. So again, thanks for being here. We're going to answer some questions that people have been asking me and topics that have come up. So let's get right to it. One of the biggest questions I get is, what is going on in the collectibles market? That's a tough market right now. Collectibles could be anything from coins to Hummels to plates to costume jewelry to different things that generally have been collectible in the past. Bottle caps, signs, anything collectible. Well, what's going on in the collectible market? Let me relay you the first casualty in the collectibles market. eBay, when it first opened up, was a not very well known, and mostly was done for antiques, and it kind of spread to everything else after that. But one of the first victims that eBay kind of made in the collectibles market, I won't say that it was eBay in particular, but people basically had all these Hummels. Everybody knows what those old Hummels were. The girls holding the hands with the boys. They come in different sizes. They were porcelain, and they're made in Germany from the 1920s to probably still today. But everybody had some Hummels, and they all thought that every Hummel in their showcase was worth a lot of money. There were books about Hummels. You could get a book this thick, and it listed every Hummel, and it said, boy holding orchard, $150. Girl walking, $25. So people really felt there was a lot of value in these Hummels, that they would retire with these some days, they would pass them down to the family, and that they would retain their value. Well, after about 3 years of eBay being online selling antiques, people would go to eBay and they'd type in, let's just say boy holding hand with girl. I'm not sure if that's even the title, but let's just say they typed it in. And they would push the button, and all of a sudden, 99 of these things were for sale. And they were for sale for the book price, all the way from $150, of course, to the people that had no idea what they wanted, to $10. So you could range, your Hummels were worth anywhere from $150 to $10. Well, if you're looking for boy holding the hand, which one did you buy? You bought the $10 Hummel. So what happened was people quickly started to realize that there were more Hummels out there than they had ever possibly thought. So the reason I said eBay was the first victim, eBay just kind of exposed what a glutton on the market there were for collectibles. So that happened with a lot of collectibles, and it still happens today. You can type in a lot of collectibles, collector's plates. You can type in certain coins. You can type in, old bottles, and you'll see tons of them on eBay, either not selling or selling cheap. The other thing that's affecting aside from the online presence of these auctions, it's the age of the baby boomers. The baby boomers are all in they're all getting ready to downsize and retire. So they're selling their merchandise, and there's a lot of them doing it right now. And the millennials, which if you're a millennial watching this, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not anti-millennial, but the millennials are generally younger. And I can remember what I was doing in my 20s. I was worried about my house, my car, and could I get the new computer, and could I, get the baby going? Do I have enough money to pay rent? And all those important things. And honestly, even though I wanted to collect things, that was the last thing on my list. So what's happening as the baby boomers are selling their collectibles, the millennials just aren't in a position of either want or desire or anything to buy these collectibles. So there's a glut on the market of collectibles in general and less buyers. But I will tell you this story. There's a pendulum that they say swings in politics and in society, and sometimes it gets a little tighter, it gets a little looser. But back in the early 70s, when my mom started this silverware store and this jewelry store, and we were selling sterling silver flatware, people would walk up to my mom and they would say, hey, basically, why are you getting into this business? Because at the time, what was going on in the 70s? Free love, all that stuff, hippies and all that. And hippies were long hair, people that were never going to buy collectibles. They were going to be living off the land. Well, guess what? Everybody gets a little bit older. Their desires change. And these people that did not want to buy in the 70s became our customers in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. So that's what I mean by the pendulum swings. So collectibles will come back as the millennials want to start collecting these things, but right now they're not in that position and they don't want to. I think it's for a couple different reasons. A little side note here. The millennials, unfortunately, you guys had to suffer the 2007 meltdown. You were the first generation that literally turned on the TV one day and it looked like the country was going out of business. I'm sure that shocked you, shocked your growth patterns, shocked me. And with that in mind, I mean, I think everybody's a little bit cautious since 2007 because we ought to want to make sure that we have enough money in case the government screws up again. But again, here's the one key thing with collectibles. What is great will always be great. If you have a very expensive collectible, if your mom does, your grandma does, chances are that high-end item will always be high-end. So the great stuff is always great. The good stuff is not always so good. And the junk stuff is always junk, whether it's good or bad. So some of this stuff in the middle, even though it's down right now, I'm not saying in the next 2 or 3 years, but someday it will come back. But right now, collectibles are definitely depressed. I kind of hope this helps you a little bit with what you're thinking about on collectibles. Thanks for taking the time to listen to the video. I hope the information helped. People ask, why do I do this? Well, 2 reasons. I like to help people, help get everybody the fair price, spread the information, keep the collectabilities going. But also we do like to buy. So if you do want some information on how to sell, definitely send me an email. I have a nice packet we'll send you out. And it describes the process. It's very easy. So send me an email. I'll send you an email back. And again, if you did like this video, press the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.